I'm Malcolm Jolly for Good Food Revolution with Adam Lowy from Cloudsley Cellars on the 20-mile bench. That's the right bench.
That's
Adam,
the bench.
where you're making Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. You used to sell a lot of other people's wines, and now you're only selling your wine and making your own wine. How come?
Well, after almost 20 years of selling other people's wine, I thought I would try the other side of the fence. Of course, being passionate about wine, you talk to winemakers from all over the world, and you always, part of you thinks, well, what if I could do it? And then over the years, you collect some ideas, and I guess I decided to throw caution to the wind and jump to the other side.
And what did that involve? I mean,
well, it involved a drastic change in my lifestyle and everything. But what it was essentially is it came out of a realization that there was now a considerable number of people making great wine in Ontario. And it really opened my eyes that I didn't have to move to some far off place to follow my passions. You know, I have to admit that I didn't always recognize the potential of Ontario. I always enjoyed Ontario wines, but I didn't see the greatness that was possible here until, you know, the last decade or so. And it really come 2014, 2015, when I started the project, I thought there was a critical mass of people doing things. It wasn't just a fluke. It wasn't a one-off, this vintage or this vineyard or this winemaker. There was enough going on that I thought I could really make something here.
Is it fair to say Cloudsley Cellars is a boutique winery? I mean, you're pretty high-end, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact of the matter is that I am more attracted to smaller lot winemaking, where we aim as high as possible. And I enjoyed aspects of the wine business, selling really large production stuff at every price point. But what really appealed to me was following my passion and making sort of carefully crafted Pinot and Chard at a small lot level.
And when you talk about small lots, what does that mean?
Well, for us, it means generally the wines that we produce are anywhere from 70 to 300 cases in a particular lot. At the upper end, they tend to be 70 to 100 cases. But in a winemaking standpoint, it means keeping the batches small and seeing what those individual plots of land and individual blocks of vineyards can create, and when you vinify and age things separately, you really get to know the terroir, and you get a lot of interesting potentials when it comes to blending.
Let's talk about these lots. I think what you're talking about are, you know, these particular parcels of vineyards in a particular place, a particular terroir. These are terroir-driven wines. What's your terroir? Yeah,
well, I mean, that really comes down to how I look at wine, and you know, like many people who've gone through the journey of wine appreciation, I realized that there are specific places in the world and the specific vineyards within those places that produce wine that is unlike anywhere else. So what interests me is going down to the vineyard level and looking what those particular pieces of land, what story they have to tell. And that's, of course, what the French call terroir, and it's why the map of Burgundy or the Mosel, why these places have been chopped up into these tiny little pieces, because this little vineyard tastes different from the one across the road. And so that was something that I wanted to pursue. There are other people who've been figuring it out here for a little while, but what we've got here now is, we've got an area that is capable of producing really fantastic Pinot Noir and Chardonnay that are really good at telling the story of terroir. So those varietals can be a good transmitter of what that vineyard has to tell, and that interests me intellectually, and it's really fun as a winemaker and as someone passionate about it to explore. And that's sort of what drove me here, because I realized it was possible to pursue that aspect of my interest in a place that was really right next door to where I've been my whole life.
Your winery is young, but you've been in it for a few years. Are you having fun?
I'm having a ton of fun. I'm learning every day. It's you know, there's obviously never an end to what you can learn, both on the winemaking side and on the business side. And of course, when I talk about the winemaking, I'm working with some really tremendous people. It's not me doing it alone, so I'm constantly learning. Of course, my background's more in the business and into sales and importing side of things. So yeah, it's been fantastic, and I've really grown to appreciate this particular part of Ontario, Niagara in general, but more specifically the 20-mile bench where we're making wine is a beautiful area to experience, and that has been really wonderful. And also to notice and to get to know the difference from what the vineyards in this area can provide compared to other areas, even other areas along the bench, or and more importantly, other areas in Niagara and Ontario. So.
Well, we tasted some wines before, and which were the physical manifestation of what you're talking about. Very different characteristics from different lots and years, and it's great fun drinking them. So please keep it up.
Well, thank you. And you know, I think from a style standpoint, I mean, it's really important for me. You know, I joked all along that I have to make wines that I like, because early on it was really important, because if no one wanted to buy them, I thought I'd be drinking them myself. But moreover, I think, you know, you have to follow your passion and you have to make wines that you love. And we're not making millions of cases of wine. We don't have to have everyone love our wine. I need people who have the same ideas as I do, same kind of palate as I do, and concepts about wine. I need those people to like the wine. And when I speak with those people, when I pour for people who are excited about my wines, that's the most rewarding thing.
Well, it's rewarding to drink them too, Adam.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
All right, it's a pleasure.